Hello, it is Sarah Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for Wellness Astrology. This time for the moon in Virgo, coming off that Leo full moon. How's your hangover? Sometimes we get a hangover just from transits and a full moon and all of those things. So, if you do have a full moon hangover, do stay hydrated, do all of the things, well nourish yourself, eat some good veggies and things. This is a Virgo moon, so earthy things, digestive support as needed, those sorts of things. Be attentive to your digestive system. This is the moon in Virgo, and this is February 12th through the 14th. So happy Valentine's Day if you support such a thing. Valentine's Day in Aquarius season, Sun's in detriment. Yay. Also, we're in Venus pre-retrograde shadow. Not probably the Valentine's Day to make a marriage proposal or something to that effect. So anywho, all right, let's pull up the chart. I've now started implementing the charts. My videos have gotten a bit longer. Now let me see if I can implement the chart and shorten my videos back down to some sort of digestible length. So hang on. All right, let's see where we are. So I put the moon at 23 degrees Virgo, where it will trine Uranus and Taurus. Apparently, I just like putting the moon where it is aspecting Uranus. So, that's just how I roll. Okay. We got the moon at 23 degrees, the nodes at 27. So the thing about these moons in Virgo with that south node there, you're going to do it for me. There we go. With the south node there is you want to be attentive to things in your physical environment that need to, or physical environment, your daily routines, your work life, those sorts of things that are Virgo in nature. Where are you being of service to others? Maybe where are you being of service to others that you are sacrificing yourself or what you need for yourself, but also where are you putting yourself ahead where you could be of service to others, like volunteering and community work. Pluto in Aquarius is really going to ask us to be more a part of a community and connect with community, and the community that can honor the courageous lion that you're emerging to be from that Leo full moon. So as we move through right now, there's nothing else in Virgo. There's all that opposition in Pisces. So it's going to be a matter of really evaluating, the duality, the who you are on Earth and being connected to humanity, and also where are you connecting to your spirituality. And since right now the bulk of the planets are in Pisces, it's more about like what's distracting you from, and by what's distracting you, like what stuff in your environment, what people in your environment is distracting you from connecting with your highest version of yourself. And so in that moon trine Uranus, it's kind of like that, there could be something that like gets like a shock gone sort of thing. And that can come in any way. It would depend on your individual chart, but it could just be something in your environment, like you break a cup or you break, your something breaks, right? Something breaks and you don't have it anymore. I don't know that it would be something necessarily catastrophic. I'd like to think not, but you never know. It depends on, again, how this would show up in your individual chart. And so I think I did mention in a video that I thought Venus is station retrograde at 6 degrees. I'm wrong. It's 10 degrees. So we got a little further to go before Venus stations retrograde on March 2nd. However, this is Venus's pre-retrograde shadow. So this is probably not the Valentine's Day, like I said, for a marriage proposal. But oh, look, we have Mercury now in Pisces. Mercury does not necessarily like being in Pisces. It doesn't mean Mercury is bad there, but it's more of like Mercury in Pisces to me, since I have it, I think differently. like for example, this is like a mundane example, but like, or like not a mundane as in mundane astrology, but like a mundane as in like typical typical me sort of thing. Like Walmart doesn't make sense to me, or pretty much anywhere I go shopping doesn't make sense to me, because I figure that, like water filters should be in like kitchen or something, but they're actually in like hardware or something like that. So like store layouts don't make sense to me, or things like that. So if you're one of those people who feels like you think ass backwards or back ass words from the rest of the world, you may have a Mercury in Pisces. I feel like that was a Foxworthy joke. Like you might be a Mercury in Pisces if you um I was also a huge fan of like a Bill Engvall and Here's Your Sign. If you know, you know. Somebody listening to this just laughed out loud. All right, so we've also got the opposition. Of course, this moon's going to oppose all of the Pisces stuff at some point during its movement through. And so I'm trying to see where, of course, we still have the Mars square Chiron. We have the moon trine Uranus. We have the moon opposite pretty much all of Pisces at some point during its journey. And so, through Virgo, the moon coming up on the South Node um, later on in the day on Friday the 14th. Um, like I said, I feel like something like I don't think this is going to be like information related. I feel like this is going to be like a potential breakup. Like was it in Legally Blonde where she thought that the guy was going to propose and he ended up breaking up with her or something? And then that's why she ended up going to law school. Was that in Legally Blonde, or am I thinking of something else? But I feel like that's been a typical like movie scene, is like she thought he was going to propose and he broke up with her anyway. Or Adventures in Babysitting, where she thinks she's going to have the greatest night of her life, and he tells her his baby sister's sick, and then she catches him out with the other chick, and she ends up becoming friends with Brad and Daryl and Sarah, and it's the funnest night of her life. And it was something that she completely like Adventures of Babysitting is almost like the perfect example of this moon in Virgo, to be honest with you. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Okay, if you've never seen that movie, go watch it. It's good. Not the newer one, the older one. And don't watch it on Disney, because they edit out some of the best parts because they made it all family friendly and shit. So you don't get to hear "don't fuck with the babysitter." Anyway, so but this is just an opportunity to really think about your who you are and where you want to go. And this is also the moon in Virgo last time before we have a Virgo lunar eclipse. So it's kind of like it's like I said with the moon in Leo, like it's that opportunity to let things go before an eclipse comes along and does it for you. Um, so if there's stuff that you need to get rid of, like stuff that's holding up space in your house that you need to get rid of, like take out the trash and take out all the old broken shit, take out all the stuff that's not of service, and get rid of it, offload. Clothes that you're not wearing, go through your closet, shoes you no longer wear, purses you're not using, backpacks, luggage, all of these things that you're not using, that are just taking up space. This is the time to get rid of it. We could all take note from the fact that there's a lot of earthly events happening, from earthquakes to tsunamis to fires, and unfortunately these things are going to continue for the foreseeable future. um and I don't like that any more than the next guy, but it really does have you take a reality check on what possessions are you holding on to, what's really important to you and what's not. So that's that. All right, so let's see what's up with the tarot. And it can happen in the blink of an eye, right? Like, what is this, 2025? So it was 11 years ago that I was renting an apartment that ended up having bed bugs. And so like, I lost some furniture, I lost some possessions that I could not, you know, save from that incident. Um and so, it doesn't have to be like and I've had friends who have been flooded and all of their furniture was destroyed because it was pressed wood, and pressed wood apparently in water becomes disgusting. So, it's things like that. Like how attached are you to your junk, your excess of stuff that you need to part ways with and get rid of, so that, and honestly, it's a thing, it's a real thing. If you hold on to an excess amount of clutter and stuff, it takes up not only space in your home, but it takes up space in your brain. And so when you declutter, it honestly frees up your brain and your emotional self, to actually like address things. That's like a lot of why a lot of people who go through a spiritual journey or an emotional healing journey become minimalists, is because like they just don't want the stuff anymore because it clutters their headspace too much. All right, we got, oh my goodness, I swear I shuffled them. But we got the Fool in reverse. Okay, so someone out there is scared of what I'm talking about. Um, Someone out there is scared to, begin the next leg of their journey. You're scared to explore, you're scared to do something, because I know I shuffled the deck multiple times in between. What else did we get? The High Priestess upright, Deanna Troy. Yeah, like I feel like this is kind of what I'm saying here, is that you holding on to the crap and the clutter is keeping you from your high priestess moment. You could be having some stuff come online, but you're preventing it from coming online because you're hiding under your sea of stuff, your garbage that you don't need, your broken appliances, your old cell phones, your old devices that don't work, or whatever. Or you're making life way too difficult because you're trying to use too many devices, or you're making life too difficult because you're keeping all the clothes in your closet because you thought you'd lose weight and fit back into them. Or I don't know. I don't know. I mean, be responsible about it. Like when I lived in Arizona and California, I kept my Carhartt coat because the Carhartt coat just never dies. Um, I kept my good snow boots because I had just bought them. And here I am, 5 years after all of that, still using the Carhartt coat, still wearing the snow boots, reluctantly, but I'm glad I kept them because, Carhartts never die. All right, let's see what's up with the dark magic. Whoops. Magick. Really? Victorious? Don't be afraid to ask for support. You deserve to be supported. Geez. All right, so this is interesting. I did shuffle both decks between filming the Leo new moon or the Leo full moon and the Virgo moon. I shuffled both. I knocked on both times. It cleared the energy. And yet the Fool in reverse came up in both of these forecasts, as did the Victorious card. So who needs this message? Because here it is. What are you so afraid to ask for help around? Who are you afraid to that you will be if you ask for help? And honestly, this could be even for me, that I need to, like, when I watch this later this week, then I'll understand. But like in this moment, I'm like, okay, who is this for? But it could very well be that it's for me. There's something around support here. Yeah. There's something around getting curious, or not willing, you're not open to being curious about asking for support, even though asking for what you want could get you the victorious to be victorious. Whether maybe you need therapy and you're unwilling to ask for it, and everyone's kind of telling you like, okay, You can't not know things forever. You've got to work on your shit. That something is preventing you from moving forward. And my guess is that you're afraid to ask for help. You don't need help. You're a man. You don't need therapy. You're a man. You're actually more of an attractive man when you get therapy than if you sit and stew in your same old inner child wounds as if they don't exist. All right, that's what I got for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, if you want to work with me, one-to-one links are all below. We got the wellness astrology, the sun, moon, rising, the single transit, the full chart reading, astro goals, astro coaching is available. Might be posting a blog post this week. I'm recording this in advance, obviously, so I can't tell you that today, but I know I have one written that I've been afraid to put out there. So again, this is as much me as it is y'all. So there you go. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you on the next one. Have a great one.